He had the Bronx cheer yesterday, but he's going to try and make up for it because he's in Brooklyn, New York right now, and we're just moments away with him meeting with some community leaders there. Thus far, let's just say it's been something of a lukewarm reception in the Empire State, mostly because of his repeated hits on so-called New York values. Now, while we await his remarks, we want to talk about the role of likability in this election. Does likability ultimately equal votes? Joining me now, Steve Rogers, Kirsten Hagelin, and Adam Goodman. Adam, you're the political pro here. On the cover of the new Time magazine, they've got Ted Cruz, and they say maybe he is likable or something to that extent. But are we overdoing the importance of likability?
Well, two things I'd like to point out. One is, I think first of all, the cardinal rule of politics, all voting is emotional, obviously, and when you get to the bottom line. And so you could say likability should mean something. This year, I think viability and credibility are trumping it. And if you look at Hillary Clinton, she's upside down. Trump right now is upside down, but they're leading in the polls, and they seem to be maybe on their way to the nomination. So when you look the other night at Tuesday night in Wisconsin, Charles, at the you might say the victory speech delivered by Cruz, maybe there are other opinions. I found it to be very self-congratulatory and pedantic. He's a tough guy to really like. And even the picture on Time magazine seemed more forced than natural. Well,
I mean, listen, maybe I don't know how photogenic he is, but I will tell you, I mean, there's a lot of self-congratulatory stuff going on with respect to running for president. I don't know that being humble has been a job requirement, but what about Steve being likable? Because everyone said the reason George Bush ultimately won was because he's the guy you want to have a beer with. Ultimately, the reason why Bill Clinton won is he was the kind of folksy guy that you can chill out with and have a beer with, watch a game with.
And Donald Trump's the type of guy you could sit down, have a beer with, chill out, and get straight talk from. Donald Trump is a likable guy when you get to know him and meet him. But look at that.
Why do so many people not like him, though? Why does he register so high on these likability polls?
Well, look.
You know the exit poll out of Wisconsin? It was what was it? 6 out of 10 said that they were scared if he was president. 2 said that they would be concerned. In other words, it broke down the 40% that love him, but everyone else, even within the GOP, seemed to be anti.
I think, Charles, that's media-driven more than anything else. The media is painting him into somebody he's not. They're trying to demonize him. They have failed. They will continue to fail. And as I said, this man's getting the nominations, and he's going to be the president.
So, Kirsten, can he win the general election with the 70% unfavorable rating?
Normally, I would say no, but because of the fear and anger that is driving so many people in this election cycle, because of the deflated economy, because they don't feel, you've got this huge section of the population that has felt disenfranchised, that is going to drive people to vote for those who may not be as likable in the past. And even though I love this man next to me, he's such a great guy, I totally disagree that this unfavorable ratings related to Donald Trump are media-driven. People are listening. Everyone that I talk to, from millennials my age to people who work in politics and on the Hill in D.C. and all over the country, not just establishment, they don't like what comes out of the man's mouth, what they see at his rallies. And that's not the media. That's just Donald Trump speaking for himself. So there is a real fear. Those Wisconsin polls, people said they were scared if he was going to be president. So likability does matter to a certain extent. And it's amazing to see people are so afraid of Donald Trump that they'll even like Ted Cruz,
Kristen,
who had been just incredibly unlikable before this.
I think the fear is not Donald Trump. It's the fear of what he is saying, which is the truth. They are afraid of the truth, and he's telling the truth.
Yeah, some people can't handle the truth. Adam, we'll come back to you, buddy. We got to go right now, and also want to talk. We're going to talk next about the Brussels police. I mean, this is really kind of eerie.